Hello, I'm Shoestring Jane. Welcome back to my channel where I talk about all things thrifty, frugal and money saving. So I thought I would do a little bit of a day in the life and just show you a fairly average day for me these days and what I tend to do, how I earn my living, what I'm eating and just various other bits and pieces. So I've just been to Lidl actually and finally bought the first of our seeds. We're so way behind with getting things started. But having said that, the weather has just really turned and gone very cold again. We had a little bit of snow yesterday. It's just cold rain here at the moment. But I know some people in some areas of the UK have had real snow. And then someone in my group in Scotland posted yesterday that whilst we were having snow, they had glorious blue sky and she had her washing on the line. Weird, isn't it? But anyway, I was in Lidl. I thought I will have a look at their seeds. I didn't get that many. They're about 140, 150 a pack. I got some chives. I got some parsley. I got some courgettes, although I think we have some courgette seeds downstairs as well. And I got some runner beans. So they're all things that I know that we can grow and we will eat. Justin's made a start on the raised beds in the garden. So we really just need to get going on things now. I want to get tomatoes, kale, peppers. I'm trying to think what else. We're not going to go crazy. I want to maybe get some form of fruit. Either some raspberry canes maybe or blackberries or something like that in the garden as well. Or maybe a fruit tree. So we're going to go to the garden centre this weekend. We've finally got nothing on Sunday, so we're going to take a trip to the garden centre and get the rest of the seeds and maybe just have a look and see what there is really. It looks as though there's very little going on in our garden really. They do have a little bit of an ex-veggie patch right at the top of the garden, but the soil doesn't look great, so I think we're going to need to improve that a little bit and get going on some things. Anyway, I've just got back from Lidl. I've decided I'm going to go to Aldi, I think, because if you've seen my previous couple of videos, you'll know that I've gone sugar-free and gluten-free, but also dairy-free, to try and have a more anti-inflammatory diet and try and maybe sort out my thyroid and perhaps my arthritis. Today is the first day of sugar-free in I think I've been doing it for about 3.5 weeks, where I've had a real craving for sugar, for something sweet. I think it's because I'm tired. I didn't sleep brilliantly last night. I don't know why, I just have nights like that sometimes. And I think that's it, isn't it? It's a tiredness thing. So, yeah, so anyway, I'm really craving sugar. I'm going to try and just eat something else and just keep myself full up with other things. But what I'm finding hardest is dairy-free. Gluten-free is not a problem. What I'm missing is a nice bowl of thick, plain Greek yogurt. That's something that I really enjoy with some fruit. But apart from that, it's been okay until today. And then today I've just been desperate for some sugar. But anyway, I've decided I'm going to go to Aldi rather than Lidl because Lidl sell nothing for gluten-free. Literally nothing. I couldn't see a single product in there, not even on the specials. Aldi don't do masses, but they do some. They do a little bit of dairy-free stuff in Lidl, but not masses again. I did get some oat milk, some coconut milk, or it's a coconut rice mixture, which I've used a few times. What else did I get that was today? I got some coconut yogurts. They're fruit yogurts, but they have no sugar in them. And what I find is if I put a little drop of stevia in them, they're really quite nice. By themselves, they were a bit dull. But, you know, no gluten-free pasta or anything like that. So it's annoying because it means that I have to go into other shops and then I end up spending more money. You know how it is. So I did a big sort of shop at Morrison's online last week and got a whole load of gluten-free pasta and some gluten-free rolls and bread and stuff. But I tried the Morrison's own gluten-free rolls and they are horrible. I wish I'd just bought one pack. I bought 2 packets and I've stuck them in the freezer because I thought maybe I could do something with them. I'm not quite sure, even if it's just whiz them up into gluten-free breadcrumbs. But they're not nice. I toasted them. They're just not edible. So I'll stick to the Shah expensive ones, I think, which I can get from the local co-op. So they're not cheap at all, but at least I eat them. It's pointless buying something that costs less money, but you end up wasting, isn't it? So Yeah, so I'm going to do that. I'll be going off to Aldi next time I need to do a shop. Anyway, here's my day in the life. Hope you enjoy it. You wouldn't believe that I actually got up and blow dried and straightened my hair today because I've then been out in the rain. So it's really rainy today. I've been to the doctors, and my new doctors, I had to register with the new doctors because the old one said I was too far away now, which is such a shame because they were a really good doctor. So I thought, well, okay, I asked my friend John, who lives here, what's the doctor's practice like here? He said it's okay most of the time, sometimes you have to wait a bit for an appointment. It looks really nice. It's a really nice new building, a nice new clinic. But I went for the first time today because when I signed up, which was probably 6 weeks ago, they said, oh, you have to come in for a new patient appointment and a medication review. So I thought, well, fair enough, that's good, that's thorough. So I booked that ahead of time. And went this morning, and I've never come out of a doctor's appointment feeling so disappointed and disconsolate, because the female doctor, she literally had no time for me. She just wanted me out as soon as possible. She wanted to discuss one of my medications, which is, I won't go into it, but it's contentious. It's a sort of medication they don't want you on for very long, and that's it. And I said, well, I thought she was going to do my blood pressure, talk about all my other medication that I take for my thyroid and that kind of thing. No, didn't want to know. I wanted to show her how bad my arthritis had got in my hands, because I thought it was going to be kind of a thorough review. And I had 5 minutes. She was literally rushing me out. She said, I literally don't have time. I don't have time to talk about anything else. You have one thing to talk about per appointment. I said, yes, but they told me this was a new patient review, a medication review. So, I thought I could discuss various things with you. And she said, no, you'll have to book another review if you want to do that. You're going to have to go out to reception and book another review. And I must have looked really cross, and certainly I was very put out because she said, oh, let's see if I can make you an appointment. I'll make you a double appointment. They could have made you a double appointment. I was thinking, well, I don't know your process. So the receptionist was the one that told me I had to come in for a review. There's something that you requested. It wasn't something that I needed to do. And every time, all my medications, I'm on 3 different types of medication. They have just relied on me to sort it out. They haven't continued a repeat prescription, which I had at my last practice. And I think, surely if you know someone's on regular medication, that automatically happens, or you get this medication review and then it automatically happens. But I've had to ask each time, can you start giving me stuff for my thyroid and stuff like that? And I just came out thinking, you literally, your main concern for this appointment was to keep more or less to time. I mean, she was a bit late. She was about 20 minutes late, which was what you expect. Well, that's quite good compared to my old doctor. They leave you 45 minutes sometimes late, but at least they give you their attention when you got there. I always felt like I was being dealt with thoroughly. With her, I was trying to talk to her and she was just looking at her computer and typing and wasn't listening to me and really wasn't responding to what I was saying. And I just thought, you've really lost sight. I know they're under pressure. I do know. I'm not criticising individual doctors usually, but this particular doctor, she couldn't care less. She couldn't be bothered. She just wanted me in and out as soon as possible. But the long and short is I've got another appointment, a double appointment booked to actually review things a bit more thoroughly in a week's time. But so I didn't have to wait another 6 weeks, so that's something. But only because I looked annoyed, I think. And if she hadn't given me that, I literally would have put in a complaint, because I really felt hard done by. It's put me really out today. I feel quite fed up about it, because I can see why people are going to private practice, but I can't afford to do that. So I'm just kind of stuck with the NHS. The NHS should be marvellous. It used to be really good, and I'm just really disappointed. Anyway, that's my moan of the day. I've done the laundry. I was love to put it outside, but no, it is here. And I'm about to go through a load of stuff for eBay that I should have done by now. And it's been sitting around. I haven't done any eBay listing for ages. I need to kind of get things moving. And this is mostly stuff that belonged to us. It's not anything for reselling. It's just my own personal stuff that I'm selling. So I'm going to get on and try and achieve something today and do that. Right, I'm going to do a little bit of eBay listing finally today. Just some bits that are ours, really. So Justin's sister gave me these, but they're not really my thing, plus they're too small. But they're brand new, so I'm going to put them on Vinted and get rid of those. Justin found this. I've got to close that. I don't know why the bonnet's open. It's an old Ferrari model that he was just his, that he's collected. He's getting rid of a lot of this stuff that he's just got kind of kept. And these are the bits that I bought on Vinted that don't fit me. So I'm going to just sell them again rather than do anything else with them. I've got this cardigan that I bought for myself, but it's really nice. It's a Peruna, really nice long cardigan, but it just doesn't suit me. It looks horrible on me. Some people like that, look good in that kind of a layered sort of long fluffy look, but I'm not one of them. Sort of frills. I've got something else upstairs, so I'm going to see what else I've got and do it all in one go. So I've also got this wireless microphone vlogging thing, which I bought thinking it would be useful for my YouTube, but I just haven't got on with it at all, so I'm going to sell that. This was just a picture, a nice picture that was going free outside somebody's house that we picked up. We don't know anybody who's into cricket, so I'm going to put that on eBay. Justin found a few more Bosson's heads. He says there's more. Can't believe it. And then I've got this thing in here, which I will get out in a minute, but it's unforgivable I haven't listed this yet. I showed you this in a video probably about a year ago, along with something else which I'm going to get upstairs. And I'm kind of annoyed myself. I think because I don't understand it and it requires some research, I keep putting it off, but I'm doing it today. Anyway, let's go and get the other thing, and I open this up and show you what's inside. Then I've got this, which is an auto harp, which I've shown you this before and done literally nothing with it. So I need to get this listed and see what value there is in that, because that's quite an unusual thing, I think. I think it's not worth, gosh, what am I doing? It's not worth masses. It's only worth about 40 quid, if that. But, you know, it's 40 quid that's just sitting there with not doing anything and just taking up space. And then the other thing is, gosh, this is quite heavy. My friend Sarah gave me this as well. She gave me that because that belonged to her aunt. She was clearing out her dad's house when he died, and she just gave me some stuff. And I think she also gave me this. It's either that or it's one of Justin's old ones, because he's got all sorts of stuff from his mum and dad's house. I actually can't remember. It's some sort of slide projector. It's really heavy. I'm conscious that you can see me at the moment. Let's just move it out of the way. It smells, it's got that real musty old smell. As you can see, it's a sort of camera. It's got a light here, and it's like, I don't think it's a camera. I've got to do some research on it. I think it's some sort of, I don't know, what is this? This is why I've put off doing it, because I don't really know what it is, and I know I've got to do some research on it. It's got some like electrics with it as well. So it's kind of interesting. It's a bit frayed. Obviously I'd photograph all of this, but you know, someone's probably going to want this. It's gone very rusty around the case, so that's another reason to get rid of it, because I've not stored it correctly for a bit. I mean, I had it in a plastic bag, but you know. Anyway, I think that is everything that's indoors that I've got to sort out, list, photograph and get it listed, and that's my plan for today. Joys of pet ownership. It's pouring with rain. Archie still wants his ball time. Yuck. You're going to get this one? You ready? Oh yeah, he's going for it. Oh, so wet going home. Making gluten-free pasta for lunch. I thought I had vegan pesto. I ordered it from Morrison's when I did an online shop last week. But can I find it? I'm starting to think I imagined it. Luckily I found this, which is tomato and grilled pepper stirring pasta sauce, which is dairy-free, and I think it's gluten-free. Let's have a look. More, yeah, it's got nothing in there, nothing in bold. So I've got that. I'm going to put in a little bit of my kale powder. I'm going to try some of these nutritional yeast flakes to give it a slightly cheesier flavour. But honestly, I think I'm going mad. What on earth have I done with the vegan pesto? It's a mystery. Anyway, I've made enough for 2 days, so that'll be tomorrow as well. That to taste. See how that is. dodgy camera work. Should have put you on my tripod. Obviously this pasta sauce is very processed, but I am using what we've got. Plus I'm working today, so I haven't got time to do too much really. I'm going to cook later. I mean, you see, I've got gluten-free sausages, and we're going to have mashed potatoes and cabbage and probably some carrots. So that's lunch anyway. Catching up on jobs, and the dishwasher's a bit smelly, so I'm cleaning it with white vinegar and a spoonful of sea salt. Now, I've done the white vinegar thing before, but not the sea salt, so I don't know whether that makes a lot of difference. There was a blog post that I read that suggested it helped to clean better. So there you go, I'm just going to run that on a really hot cycle, and hopefully that'll be cleaner. So as part of my cleaning, I am doing a kind of routine maintenance of the drains. And in fact, they're not blocked, but I keep getting a whiff of something that doesn't smell that good. So I've just put quite a lot of these soda crystals down that have gone a bit hard. So you can see there's quite a big block. So what I'm planning to do is dissolve them with some boiling water. More than one kettle, just because it's come out in one lump. It's quite a good way of stopping them getting a bit smelly. Definitely going to need another kettle's worth. I'll let that kind of melt for a bit, I think. Just give it all a good clean in a minute. Get it shiny. It's a bit stained today. So today I am making gluten-free and sugar-free banana muffins using frozen bananas. So I freeze them just whole. I find that's fine. And because they go so soft, they're going to just whiz up nicely in a minute. I'm adding some vanilla essence and also some Vitalite. I'm actually using the plant-based margarine rather than butter, but I've melted it. So I've melted it in the microwave and adding that in along with the vanilla essence, and I'm going to just whiz it up. And as I say, it will break it up really well because the bananas are so soft. If they'd been fresh bananas, I would have had to mash them first. And I've got almond flour, which I bought from Grape Tree recently, a big bag full. And you're supposed to use coconut flour, but I've only got desiccated coconut, and it worked before. You're supposed to use cinnamon. I've got mixed spice and obviously a bit of baking powder. And it's supposed to have fine sea salt. I've only got coarse sea salt, so that's what we're having. And then some chocolate chips. And these are just plain vegan chocolate chips. They do have some sugar in them though, but that's the only sugar that there will be in this whole recipe. So I'm adding some baking powder, my salt, a little bit of mixed spice. I will put the exact recipe in the description box below so you can see the precise ingredients. And then we're going to have some almond flour. It's 1.5 cups, so another 1/2 cup. Followed by the desiccated coconut. So it's just 1/4 cup of desiccated coconut. And then folding all that in. I think I forgot to say there were a couple of eggs in the wet mixture at the beginning when I whizzed it up with the bananas. Larger eggs you need. So I'm just trying to mix that all in really well so there's no dry powdery bits. And then I'm adding the chocolate chips. And mix that all together. And I've got my muffin cases ready. And this does make about 12. It depends on the size of your bananas, I think, because last time it made 15. So I'm trying not to overfill the cases. I don't want them to spill over. I have my oven preset to 180. But I'm cooking these at the same time as I cook the dinner so that I'm not using the oven just for one thing. So as you can see, that was the perfect quantity. It made 12 muffins. Here they are, fresh out the oven. God, it's got dark really quickly. It suddenly got a bit grainy, but if I put the light on behind me, it looks like I've got a halo, and you're never going to fall for that, are you? So the cakes they didn't look great, but actually they taste really nice. That's a really good recipe. They weren't as good this time. I think it's because I didn't have large eggs. I only had little small eggs, so I put 3 eggs in instead of 2. Last time I had 2 large eggs, and that seemed to be really perfect. I think this time the mixture was just a little bit too wet, and it was just not as nice. It didn't rise as much. But having said that, they've really saved me, this little muffin recipe has. So, hello, Lola behind us. She has to get in every video, as you know. Because, you know, if I go to somebody's house, went to my daughter Becky's house and she made us lunch on Sunday and I had some of those with me. I've made a few batches now. And so when the others had their dessert, I didn't feel like I was missing out. And if I'm out and about, I just take one with me and just wrap it up and put it in my handbag, because then I've got something if I feel like I need something. So just having a cup of tea and I'm desperate for a biscuit, as I was earlier, then, you know, just have one of those cakes. And they're really not bad. I've got a few other recipes I'm going to try, so I'll share those as I go, especially if they're any good. You know, it's quite hard when you're going sugar-free and dairy-free and gluten-free. So, but they are a win for me, especially with the chocolate chips. The chocolate chips did have a little bit of sugar in them. So it was a bit of a cheat, but I had those and I wanted to use them, and they made such a difference, really. But they did, you know, it's minimal amount of sugar. So anyway, that's a bit of a day in life. It's getting towards dinner time now. I'm about to go off and make some dinner, and as I say, I'm losing the light now, aren't I? So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give me the thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so that you know next time I publish something. I'll see you then. Bye for now.